On October 28th, as the motorcade carrying the body of former Chinese Communist Party Premier Li Keqiang entered the main arteries of Beijing from the airport in the western suburbs, the city erupted in a chorus of honking horns. The citizens of Beijing welcomed Li Keqiang back to the city in this unique way. Across the country, continuous lines of mourners could be seen with memorial flowers. The Chinese people commemorated the former people's premier in various ways. These scenes convey the Chinese people's most direct feelings following the sudden news of Li Keqiang's death: sorrow, remembrance, and despair for the society's future. In the eyes of many, Li Keqiang was a representative of the reformist faction. His death has led many to believe that China's period of reform and opening up has ended, and under Xi Jinping's leadership, the country may rapidly return to the era of the Cultural Revolution, leaving the Chinese people's future even more uncertain and hopeless. To avoid a repeat of history, specifically the Tiananmen Square protests of 1989, triggered by former General Secretary Hu Yaobang's death, Beijing has been on high alert in a state of semi-martial law. Netizens have captured images of numerous military vehicles entering Beijing. Visitors must now make reservations to enter the Tiananmen Square area. Former Chinese media person Zhao Lanjian revealed on October 29th that the authorities are now irrationally closing Tiananmen Square. Tiananmen Square is subjecting visitors to stringent security checks and identity verification, all while under the watchful eyes of plainclothes officers, police, armed police, and state security agents. Moreover, visitors can only ride through. Walking is prohibited. Zhao Lanjian commented, quote, "If you can get into Tiananmen Square, you've essentially lost all personal dignity, as you've already bared your soul and body." He also stated Li Keqiang's death has turned Tiananmen Square into a modern-day prison, with security measures significantly upgraded. A netizen commented below his post, "This photo looks like it was taken in Pyongyang." Even the laying of memorial flowers is under strict government control. A Beijing netizen disclosed that initially flowers could be sent to Tiananmen Street for mourning, but now delivery platforms have ruled that it's not possible. A netizen from Shenyang revealed that local purchases of chrysanthemums must now be reported. Meanwhile, in Shanghai, a large number of flowers laid by the public have reportedly been cleared away by authorities, and many police officers have been stationed at intersections around the tourist center. At the same time, Beijing authorities are strictly investigating memorial items sent to sensitive departments. On October 29th, a netizen reported that relevant departments have started to crack down on items like flowers and candles used for memorial purposes, requiring local police to track orders sent to addresses like Tsinghua University, Peking University, Tiananmen Square, and the Central Party School, and report to their superiors hourly. According to Beijing residents, authorities are using smog as a pretext to restrict people from leaving their homes, and high schools in areas like Beijing, Hebei, and Tianjin have asked students to cancel all activities and stay on campus. Sources say that the atmosphere in Beijing is extremely tense, akin to the aftermath of the 1989 Tiananmen Square massacre, with no flags lowered to half-mast and no ceremonies conducted upon the arrival of the body in Beijing. One source said, "The streets of Beijing are full of plainclothes officers and armed police. Absolutely no one dares to lay flowers at Tiananmen Square." Despite the government's intense efforts to maintain stability and prevent public gatherings, Shanghai's Halloween celebrations on the evening of October 30th became an outlet for public expression. A large number of young people in Shanghai gathered at locations like Zhulu Road and South Chengdu Road to celebrate Halloween, some dressed as Winnie the Pooh to satirize Xi Jinping, while others dressed as the 20th century writer Lu Xun, comparing contemporary China to the sickly Qing dynasty. Many people wore the protective suits of the pandemic, reminiscent of last year's lockdown days. The satirical costumes aimed at the regime earned the admiration of netizens from other regions. They said things like, "Shanghai people dare to play," and "a Halloween with Chinese characteristics." Li Keqiang officially stepped down from his position as premier in March of this year after a 10-year political struggle with Xi Jinping. Footage from a media outlet in late August showed Li Keqiang, at 68 years old, visiting Dunhuang, appearing to be in good spirits and health with no visible signs of physical ailment. On October 27th, news broke of Li Keqiang's sudden death. According to official statements, Li Keqiang had been resting in Shanghai. On the 26th, he suffered a sudden heart attack. Despite all efforts to save him, he passed away at 12:10 a.m. on the 27th in Shanghai. Radio Free Asia cited a source from the Shanghai medical community, Xuening, revealing that Li Keqiang was in good health and enjoyed swimming. He was staying at the Dongjia State Guest House in Shanghai, where he suffered a heart attack while swimming. However, many found inconsistencies in these official accounts. Coupled with the authorities' unusually low-key handling and downplaying of the incident, numerous doubts have emerged, leading to speculation about the real cause of Li Keqiang's death. Firstly, questions have been raised as to why Li Keqiang was not taken to a more advanced hospital for emergency treatment, especially considering his access to top-tier healthcare as a standing committee member. With a personal physician, secretary, and security detail always at hand, his heart attack could have been promptly addressed. Cai Xia, a former professor at the Central Party School, expressed skepticism online. It is rumored that Li Keqiang was staying at the Dongjiao State Guest House in Shanghai. The Zhongshan Hospital in Shanghai ranks in the top 3 in the nation for cardiovascular disease emergency treatment. According to maps, there are 3 routes from the Dongjiao State Guest House to Zhongshan Hospital, the longest taking 30 minutes and the shortest taking 23 minutes. The golden window for emergency treatment of acute myocardial infarction is within 120 minutes, and Zhongshan Hospital has a 96% success rate in such cases. So where was Li Keqiang taken for emergency treatment? Contrary to expectations, Li Keqiang was reportedly taken to Shuguang Hospital instead. Based on available information, Shuguang Hospital specializes in traditional Chinese medicine and preventative healthcare, making it an unlikely first choice for emergency heart attack treatment. A netizen calculated the distances, noting that the Dongjiao State Guest House is 16 kilometers from Shuguang Hospital, a 23-minute drive. In contrast, the trip to Dongfang Hospital in Pudong, a Grade A hospital, would only take 19 minutes, and reaching the renowned Second Military Medical University's hospital would take just 17 minutes. The netizen questioned the rationale behind transporting Li Keqiang to a more distant, smaller hospital specializing in traditional Chinese medicine. Cai Xia commented, if Li Keqiang was indeed taken to Shuguang Hospital for emergency treatment, one cannot ignore the significant doubts raised. Was it to save his life or otherwise? Officials from the Central Office, the Central Health Bureau, and the personal physician accompanying Li Keqiang cannot be absolved of responsibility. Another point of contention is the Dongjiao State Guest House, where Li Keqiang was staying. Traditionally viewed as a key venue for hosting guests by the Chinese Communist Party's upper echelons, some believe that the Dongjiao State Guest House served as former leader Jiang Zemin's private retirement residence. Security and oversight are provided by the Beijing Central Security Bureau, preventing any interference from Shanghai authorities. Thus, there is speculation that Jiang Zemin spent his last years under a form of house arrest at the Dongjiao State Guest House. A netizen hypothesized that Li Keqiang's stay at the Dongjiao State Guest House might also indicate a form of house arrest. Sources reveal that restrictions on Li Keqiang's movements were due to Xi Jinping's dissatisfaction. This dissatisfaction stemmed from the attention Li Keqiang received during his public appearance in Dunhuang on August 22nd of this year, while Xi Jinping was attending the BRICS summit in South Africa. Rumors even circulated online suggesting that Li Keqiang might have been poisoned. Despite a decade-long power struggle, Li Keqiang posed no apparent threat to Xi Jinping following his retirement. However, Xi Jinping may think otherwise. Cai Shenkun, a renowned Chinese media personality and political commentator based in the United States, analyzed the situation, noting rumors of an investigation into Song Zhigang, a former associate of Li Keqiang, which reportedly displeased Li. This situation highlights that Xi Jinping continues to target Li Keqiang even after his retirement. Cai Shenkun remarked, quote, in fact, over the past few years, officials closely associated or who have worked with Li Keqiang have been almost universally purged or humiliated. For example, Li Jia, promoted by Li Keqiang in Liaoning, was dismissed from his party and public positions in August 2022, demoted from ministerial to departmental level upon retirement. The recent investigation of the director of the State Tobacco Monopoly Administration also points to Li Keqiang's brother. This relentless campaign of purges and humiliations surpasses even the tactics used by Mao Zedong to suppress his political adversaries during his time. In a notable development on March 3rd of this year, 2 days prior to stepping down from his position as premier of the State Council, Li Keqiang made a farewell speech to his staff that has since sparked widespread speculations and discussions, raising suspicions of indirect commentary on Xi Jinping. He expressed, "People often say that while we do our deeds, the heavens watch. It seems the heavens have eyes. Witnessing the years of hard work and solid contributions made by the colleagues at the State Council would surely deserve reward." However, in an exclusive interview with the Epoch Times, an insider from the Chinese Communist Party's military disclosed that Li Keqiang's death was indeed very sudden, catching even the upper echelons of Zhongnanhai by surprise. Contrary to the usual practice of delaying the announcement of the death of high-ranking officials for days or even months, the official announcement of Li Keqiang's passing was released unusually swiftly. This has led to suspicions that the news was leaked prematurely, without adequate preparation at the top levels. The source revealed that this act was a strategic move by the anti-Xi faction, who already have a successor in mind to replace Xi Jinping. Their intention is to expedite Xi Jinping stepping down so that their preferred candidate can assume power, significantly boosting the morale of the anti-Xi camp. However, details about this mysterious successor remain unknown. Commentators have explored various conspiracy theories regarding the cause of Li Keqiang's death. While it is difficult to externally confirm whether he was assassinated, there is a unanimous agreement that the public perception of the Chinese Communist Party includes the possibilities of orchestrated murders, forced suicides, or death by heart attack. This regime has a history of brutal acts, such as deploying tanks against students and the general populace during the Tiananmen Square protests. Killing a political figure is well within their capabilities. This is the essence of the CCP and the impression that people have of it. Following Li Keqiang's death, an outpouring of public grief was evident. Crowds flocked to his former residence at 80 Dongxing Road in Hefei, as well as to his ancestral home in Dingyuan County, resulting in a sea of flowers and long queues of mourners overnight. Citizens from other provinces and cities also made special overnight trips to pay their respects on behalf of their fellow townspeople. Li Keqiang had previously held significant positions in Hunan province, serving as the governor and party secretary for 7 years. In the provincial capital Zhengzhou, a large number of citizens laid flowers in remembrance at the Qianxi Plaza. During the Zhengzhou Marathon on the 29th, a participant displayed a blue banner with white characters that read, "Overcoming difficulties, the strong nation has its path." The words for overcoming, ke, and strong, qiang, were chosen deliberately to commemorate the former premier. Other participants carried a black and white portrait of Li Keqiang in a transparent pouch on their backs, symbolizing a final walk through the streets of Zhengzhou with him. Similar gestures of remembrance were observed at the marathon in Chengdu, Sichuan, with participants wearing white t-shirts inscribed with Li Keqiang's well-known sayings, such as, "The Yangtze and Yellow rivers will not flow backwards," alluding that the country cannot regress. The wave of public mourning for Li Keqiang swiftly spread nationwide within just 2 days, reaching provinces and cities including Shandong, Hebei, Hunan, Guangxi, Anhui, Liaoning, Jiangsu, Guangxi, Yunnan, Hubei, Beijing, Tianjin, Nanjing, Shanghai, and Guangdong's Shenzhen, and even Hong Kong. On the internet, some commented, now Hefei has become Beijing and Hongxing Road has turned into Tiananmen Square. However, the Chinese government responded vigorously, swiftly initiating stability maintenance actions. According to the latest reports, in the early hours of the 31st, plainclothes officers and police forcibly closed off and cleared Hongxing Road in Hefei. Numerous workers in blue vests systematically inspected the flowers laid in tribute, and condolence cards were taken. Several parents of students in Hefei spoke about their unusual experience online, stating that they received phone calls from schools warning them not to visit Hongxing Road to pay tribute, which struck them as highly unusual. One parent said, "It was not a written notification. The calls reached every parent's mobile phone." This stability maintenance effort also extended to Chinese campuses, with authorities prohibiting on-campus gatherings for mourning. Numerous university students shared online that their schools had abruptly canceled all club activities and prohibited the dissemination of information about gatherings in group chats. Peking University, Li Keqiang's alma mater, posted an official message of condolence on Weibo on the 29th, although comments from students were subsequently hidden. Even Hu Yaobang, former chief editor of Global Times, had his Weibo post expressing deep condolences disappear. Positive comments mourning Li Keqiang were deleted from social media, leaving only official news releases, while posts from social media were all blocked. A search for Li Keqiang on the Chinese government's official website yielded 0 results. Nonetheless, the spontaneous public mourning continues to ferment as citizens find various ways to relay their respects for Li Keqiang. Murong Xuechun, a Chinese independent writer, remarked, "Whether Li Keqiang is worthy of mourning is one question, but what the public expresses through their mourning is another. When millions take to the streets in his name, who he was becomes less important. What matters is why the people have taken to the streets." Tang Baichao, a Chinese democracy activist and survivor of the Tiananmen Square protests, now residing in the United States, commented, "With the death of a CCP leader, the government would feel the need to seal off Tiananmen Square and prohibit online commentary. This reveals an unprecedented level of fragility and absurdity in the regime. Such a government, even if it lasts 10,000 years, remains a tragedy."